Alright, Riot. I got your solution. Alright? We looked at the Night Blue video. We looked at Nubrak. Nubrak didn't do everything in his power to win that game. Right? It's fine. He brought a new strategy to the table. That's not frowned upon. But if you look at the video, you turn off the sound. Let's pretend you had nothing to go off of except for, let's say someone wrote a message, said, hey, take a look at this video. This is a new strategy. Right? And you look at it, you can see that Nubrak didn't do everything in his power to support his team. I looked at it initially, and then I looked at it in a different video, and he didn't do everything in his power to win the game. Despite bringing something new to the table, he didn't communicate. He didn't ward up that well. He sat in the lane back and forth too much. He didn't roam. He didn't create advantages for his team except for a kill. As to Night Blue, he didn't do everything in his power to win the game. He was more focused on chatting. He was more focused on harassing somebody than focusing on a game. This is so easy. People say that this is hard or intent. You can tell intent. You can tell intent. And there's no reason that game should have been over. Halfway through that game, halfway through the game, they actually had the lead. So if you're sitting there and you're threatening somebody, even though what he's doing is working, then you shut up and you work with it. But on the same token, if you're bringing a strategy that's new to the game, that people are not going to receive well, especially on a champion like Teemo, where it can be seen as trolling, then every single game you bring 110%. You know exactly what a support is supposed to do. If you're queuing for support and you're in higher elo and you've played this game that much, then you know how much a support's supposed to ward. You know how much a support's supposed to roam. And you make advantages for your team, especially if you're mid. Especially if you're mid. There's no excuse. This is such an easy answer. Alright? Mute all is an option, boys. It's an option. Don't talk about mental if you have all chat up. Because that shows you're more concerned socializing than you are playing the game. And don't claim that stuff won't work at high elo. You're not high elo. You're not challenger, Night Blue. You're not. And even if you were challenger, the fact that you have your all chat on, it's bad enough you have Twitch chat and you're streaming. Because you know, as well as I do, that the stream snipers are going to come out. And they're gonna try and grief you. That's bad enough. But you not focusing on yourself and you not focusing on your own gameplay and pointing the finger when you did not perform to a level. You did not make decisions to a level to warrant you complaining. If you were like 3-0 and then started dying, I think it would be a totally different situation. But you didn't even get an advantage for your team. You made things 10 times worse than they needed to be. When you could have been like, guys, just focus. Whatever. We'll report them after the game. But until a Nexus falls, there shouldn't be any talking. Unless there's something constructive to say to your team. Which you had nothing constructive to say. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. This is my last video on this. This is my last touching on this. And to anyone trying to get things twisted, alright? Don't claim mental if you have all chat on. Don't claim mental if you are not giving 110%. And if you have any inkling of what someone's saying when they're harassing you, or inkling, or you're more focused on chat, that's your fault. Because you're putting your effort and you're putting all that focus into stupid, nonsensical, retarded, it pisses me off. And it makes this easy. If I worked for Riot, I would have had both of them banned as soon as I saw the video. because both behaviors were not acceptable. Both behaviors were not up to snuff. And if Nubrak, if you do that every game, then don't be surprised if you get banned again. You need to change it up a little bit. You need to become more flexible. Because if you expect other people to be flexible, then you yourself need to be flexible. You lead by example. And as to everyone else, actually try stuff. Actually experiment. This game has been the same for so long. And there are people making metas out there with wacky, crazy crap that you guys wouldn't comprehend at first glance. Like Camille Mid, dude, are you kidding me? I was doing that when she first came out, and I was getting shit for it, and now it's a thing. It's always been a thing. Sejuani's always been a good champion. Yeah, she's had her ups and downs, especially with the Aftershock nerfs and her nerfs, and just. But at the end of the day, she's always been a decent champion who's been able to proc her stun off of another champion. So Camille Mid, in theory, could have worked. The flavor of the day changes, items change, the game change, blah, 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 blah. But you guys have not tried everything in the game enough to freaking sit there and point fingers and get pissed off. You have not mastered the game. Because if you mastered the game, then you would have no problem being rank 1. So get your head out of your ass, focus on your own shit, and get good, scrub.